I want to explain today why the current model of the atom is incorrect. If the electron is disconnected from the proton and the neutron, they say it's separated by a distance. There's a gap of nothingness between the proton, neutron, and the electron. The proton is red, neutron is green, electron is blue. If this blue little electron is disconnected from the center, then what powers the electron? And how can it stand on its own? We all know that electricity is carried by magnetism, so there should be a magnetic field carrying this electron. Magnetic fields are not just outside of the magnet at the plane of inertia. You don't repel and attract objects from the sides of a magnet. You repel objects from the top and bottom of the magnet, and you can even attract them into the sides. So that means if you have a magnet and you break it down to 1,000,000 pieces into its atoms, each atom is a magnet, and the magnetic field is not simply going around the sides of the magnet. The magnetic field comes out of the top and into the bottom, out of the bottom into the top. That's why your magnet can repel and attract out of both sides. So magnetic repulsion and attraction come from the dielectric field. That's why magnetism is the dielectric field. Magnetic repulsion, or the electron, is 1 unit of dielectric discharge. It's the release of dielectricity. This is the return of dielectricity, which is 1 unit of dielectric charge called a proton. This is attraction, this is repulsion, and that's what your atoms are doing. All atoms are polarized with a north and south pole, or a proton and electron, positron and a negatron, and this is the neutron, or the neutral point. The atom must be able to send and receive energy or information by flowing or sending that energy in and out of itself, in and out of the center. The energy must pick up inertia, which is spin. This is the low pressure, comes out as high pressure, returns to the low pressure. It's all pressure mediation. The right-hand rule of magnetism is why they tell you that the electron is going around this way. Because the magnetic field does curve this way, but it doesn't just curve, it also curls. It spreads out and then it curves in at the bottom. It spreads out the bottom and it curves in at the top. So yes, the entire magnetic field is spinning in one direction, but it also vortexes in and out. As it curves, it curls. And so if you look at the atom from the top, it doesn't just look like that. This is the top of the atom, they tell you. This is the true top of the atom. This is the side view. This is the true side view. If you look at a magnetic field from the top, there's a center point where it's black. And it doesn't mean there's no magnetism there. It means that's where the dielectric field is. You're looking at the plane of inertia from the top. Magnetism is radiation, which is right turning, and it's centrifugal divergence because it's coming away from the center and it's diverging, where the opposite would be blue shift. It's left turning if you look at the atom from the bottom, and it's gravitation because it's going towards the center. That's called centripetal convergence. It is converging towards the center. These are the counter-rotating fields of magnetism. The atom is a compound of magnetism and dielectricity collectively. It's low-energy cyclic circuits. Okay, so the atom is not just a proton and an electron. They don't even tell you what a neutron is. Current science doesn't tell you what a neutron is. How can you have negative charge, positive charge, and no charge? What is this no charge? The no charge is the unmanifest dielectric field, or ether, 0-point energy. They're not telling you this. If they told you this, you'd realize that everything is infinite. We have a reservoir of infinite energy at the center of our atoms, center of our body, center of the earth, center of the Milky Way. The center is what holds everything together. It's an infinite supply of energy. The infinity logo can only exist in a torus geometry, which is what your atoms, your magnetic field around your body looks like. It's what the Milky Way galaxy looks like. It's what the whole universe is. Nothing isn't magnetism. All atoms make up the visible physical universe, and nothing can be visible or physical or audible or tangible without magnetism. Everything in the universe is due to magnetism and magnetism alone. And this is why Nikola Tesla said all things come from the luminiferous ether. It's luminiferous because the ether itself is this invisible counterspatial point. And magnetism carries electricity just like the ether carries the lumen, or the light. An atom is a magnetodielectric dynamo spinning at 1 trillion cycles per second, which means if the electron was spinning at 1 trillion cycles per second, that electron should literally be flinging off. It should fly away from the center because it's going so fast. All electricity is carried by magnetism. So the reason the electron doesn't fly off through the centrifugal force going 1,000,000,000,000 cycles per second is because the electron is not a particle, it's a whirlpool of energy that is stuck to the center like a dog on a leash. It's called the invisible umbilical cord of magnetism. All electricity is carried by the invisible umbilical cord of magnetism. Magnetism is the mother, electricity is the son.